Welcome to Secular Soup. Stay tuned for real talk about atheism, feminism, politics, parenting, and whatever the fuck else Amy and Amy want to talk about, because this is their show. And get ready for a whole lot of motherfucking profanity.
You want to hear a secret?
I won't tell anybody. Go ahead. If I sit next to you, I'm going to get gonorrhea. It's going to jump into me. Just two ladies hanging out.
Is it okay for me to make fun of his neck waddle if I make fun of my own neck waddle?
I'm not sure.
That's a real ethical conundrum.
Would you know if you were born a lizard person, or can you be like adopted into the...
I think you know.
We're such professionals.
We really are.
Buckle up, bitches. It's time to have some soup.
I'm Amy with a Y.
And I'm Amy with an I.
And we are just two blueberries floating in a bowl of tomato soup. And this week we have a very special treat for our listeners.
Guys, this is more exciting than an after-school special with Blossom.
It really is. Although those were pretty fucking exciting. But
right? On the very special Blossom, they talk about drugs.
Love drugs. So this week we are bringing you yet another crossover episode because we are lazy as fuck. So we're doing a crossover, but it's a really good one this time. Not like those shitty ones.
Not like the shitty ones we've done before.
With Michael and all that boring shit. This is a good one. So this week, and Zach, let's throw him in there too. Throw him right under the bus.
But we hate him. We're at a feud with him, remember?
Yeah, that's the point. We hate everybody. So we just got done recording with Larry Yellingman of the Man Yells at News podcast, which is one of our favorite things to do because it's always fun. But the other special guest was Noah Lugeons, which some of you right now are going, who is that? Because not everybody knows who that is, but most of you listening know who that is.
If you give us more money on Patreon, we'll tell you who it is.
There you go. Let's just say he is a friend of the Mr. Eli Bosnick who appears at the end of every episode. So if you are a fan of The Scathing Atheist, God-Awful Movies, Citation Needed, Noah Lugeons is fucking awesome, and we just got to record with him. So sit back, enjoy this very special crossover with Man Yells at News, but mostly it's about us and Noah. So just kidding, Larry, we love you. And we will see you after the crossover show for our little outro, I guess. Enjoy.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Man Yells at News. On today's episode, I sit down for a nice bowl of scathing secular soup. Also joining me to burn the shit out of our throats is Amy and Amy of the Secular Soup podcast and Noah Lugeons of The Scathing Atheist, God-Awful Movies, and The Skeptocrat. So, Amy, just why do rom-coms suck?
So many reasons.
Yeah, I mean, we'd be here all night if we talked about it. So
they set up an unrealistic expectation for romance and love, and that the story ends when you meet that perfect someone, not that it's a shitstorm for 20 years and you stay together or you don't. And
it's just unoriginal writing. So.
I just thought it was because they encourage people to think that hanging outside of your house playing terrible music is a grand romantic gesture.
Well, we actually discussed that. We talked about how it's basically stalking, and if someone says no, that's what the answer is, and it's not an act of wearing someone down and hoping someday they'll say yes. They gave you their answer. They told you how they felt, and you need to just, accept it. So,
yep.
They swiped left on you,
What
bro.
if you're on a business trip together, right? What if the two of you don't think you like each other, but then you're on a business trip together and, oh no, they've only booked you one room.
Oh no. Well, then, you have to fuck them, right? Like, that's the obligation. But
I feel like
the company has to pay for it.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, as long as the company's paying
All right, this
for
is a
it,
good
it's
rom-com.
legit.
I'm just saying, I know you don't
No,
like
let's
them, but you
write
just
this. Let's
invented
write
a
this
great
thing right
one
now.
there.
Let's do this thing.
So, Noah, how many times did Steve Novella punch Eli?
I've been asked by Andrew not to answer that question while the litigation is still ongoing, sir.
Steve Novella
So, no, the real story...
doesn't like it when I call him the sexy fox.
Okay, I wish you had told me that before I met him, because then I could have really put him on edge. Steve Novella was nothing but nice to us. He just happened to be on almost across from us at QED last weekend, and Eli was very upset when people showed up a little late for our show because they were getting out of his show, and has now started spreading rumors that he's an international assassin that specializes in immigrant children, because that's what I have to deal with day to day.
It's a niche that needed to be filled.
Wait, who's Eli?
Awesome! So let's load up the virtual dice and dive right into this story.
Podcast in talking. I don't know.
Yeah, okay. Inside baseball.
1 to 2 for me.
Something about guys and balls.
3 to 4 for Amy.
Poor
5
Larry.
to 6 for other Amy, and 7 to 8 for Noah. And we have roll 8.
Okay.
Noah, you're first.
Am I? Okay, what am I first at?
Sharing stuff.
Pick one of your stories and then
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. We're diving
and then
into
yell
that.
about it. Yep.
Okay, and no, I can definitely do.
You're good
the
at yelling
latter.
about stuff. Yeah.
Okay, so I guess the big news of the day is Trump using the
Again?
N-word, by which I
What?
mean nationalism. That was at his pro Ted Cruz rally. Now, first of all, you've got to imagine how much, it can't be easy for Ted Cruz to swallow his pride, because I feel like he has to dislocate his jaw to swallow anything, right?
Yeah.
But
I get to
After
vote
being-
against him. I'm so excited.
awesome.
I'm so excited.
I get to vote for Stacey Abrams.
Okay.
Actually, I'm voting tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm
so
voting
we're
tomorrow
gonna-
too. I get to
or no,
vote
sorry,
against
Thursday.
fucking Ted Cruz.
Oh,
Nice.
that's awesome. But so anyway, so after being dubbed Lying Ted by the president and just being like a bully or a punching bag for him now for years, Teddy had to call on Donald to come and bail him out all this trouble he's having with this charming, competent, not Ted Cruz candidate that's also on the ballot. So while he's at the rally, Trump describes himself as a nationalist. Here's his exact wording. He says, quote, "A globalist is a person who wants the globe to do well. Frankly, not caring about our country so much." Apparently, no one told him our country was on the globe. Anyway, the quote continues, "And you know what? We can't have that. You know, they have a word. It's sort of become old-fashioned. It's called a nationalist. And I say, really, we're not supposed to use that word. You know what? I am. I'm a nationalist, okay? I'm a nationalist. That's the actual
What a
quote.
brave,
because it's
brave stance
Donald
he's
fucking
taking.
Trump. So at some point you have to say the same word twice or something. But okay, so here's why, he said he's not supposed to use that word. The reason is because when he hears it, it's in the context of white nationalist.
Oh,
Right.
that's true.
All right, so
Also known as his people.
yeah, right, exactly. His base. This is part of a larger trend of turning this midterm election, trying to turn out the racists at the last moment, right?
Oh, it's working. There's lines outside the doors here.
And you're in Texas?
Oh, yeah.
I'm in Georgia, and I'm in one of the really white parts. Yeah, they're terrified.
Mm-hmm.
For Halloween decorations, I just put up a bunch of Stacey Abrams signs. They don't even
Yeah,
drive by.
I just have a
won't
Beto
have
sign
to-
in my yard. It's pretty much I'm good.
You get to keep all your candy on Halloween, though. It's great. Here's the thing, though. And the media is rightly making a big deal out of the fact that he chose the term nationalist. Now, you could argue that this is like remember when he announced his Space Force, and he says, think about it, a new force, separate but
What?
equal.
Yeah.
Right? Like he
Literally said
he
that.
Yeah, because apparently he just hangs out with racists so often that use the term separate
It
but
just
equal that he
became
picked up
part
the
of his,
term.
verbiage.
Yeah, right. Like fucking Jeff Bridges in The Big Lebowski. Yeah, he just uses that term because it's a term he's heard and he has no idea what the connotations are. So you might exempt the nationalism thing for the same reason, except that he started off by saying that he was aware he wasn't supposed to use this word.
Mm-hmm.
Right, because when you hear the word nationalist, you think of Nazis. That's the "na" in Nazi.
But that's why he said it's old-fashioned, because Nazis are old. It's
No, they are.
sweet and quaint. So
And they had some great uniforms.
And of course, like,
everything was better in the 40s.
yeah, well, right.
Yeah.
No, he wants to make us.
Especially if you were like a black woman.
Yeah.
Oh, they had it made a black woman, a black lesbian. Oh,
Oh,
my
yeah.
God, they were
Yeah.
Black
killing
lesbian Jew.
it back in the
God.
40s.
Living the dream. All the dreams.
Yeah, right. And that's the other thing, too, is that you can't excuse this as an accidental use of the term. And again, like, look, you can talk about civic nationalism if you want, but when we hear nationalism, we're talking about the belief that your culture is superior to others and has to have its values forced on other cultures, right? That's what nationalism means sort of in an academic sense. And again, if he was just using the word by accident, that would be one thing, but it also lines up with everything else he says and does.
Oh yeah, he fully believes believes in nationalism.
Yeah, both in the cultural and economic sense, right? Like, this comes right at the same time that he's ginning up fear about this invasion force he's portraying, these immigrants fleeing from violence and crime and shit in Honduras and El Salvador and whatnot. He's dubbing this caravan that's on its way to invade our borders, and he's saying that there's, it's not just Hondurans, they've also got some Middle Easterners in there, and, because that would be the easiest way, really, for Al-Qaeda to sneak some folks in, is through a well-publicized...
Wouldn't the wall just stop that? I mean, I've heard good things. You just put a wall up and everything stops.
No, see, what we should do is get the gays and transgenders to use their magic powers to erect a super anti-brown people barrier.
That's basically
a good idea. Yeah. You should patent that, Larry.
That was literally my idea, Larry.
Wow, I actually just said transgenders.
Quit stealing her ideas.
Yeah. Come on, man. Be cool.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you've been keeping track with the evangelical chatter, we know that liberals have the power to send hurricanes when they are angered.
Well, they should just super pray at the storms. I thought that's what they were doing.
Well, that they do have a Category 5 coming on the Pacific coast of Mexico right now. That's pretty unusual. So, yeah, that could be some divine
we don't really get hurricanes over here up in... I mean, we got the hurricane from Florida. Either. It comes across, and you eventually get the tropical storm, but it takes...
Oh, hey, Amy,
Wait, what's a hurricane?
Yes,
sir. Hey, Amy, you just said words. What's your next story?
My story is Okay, let me find it.
Get your shit together.
I am a fucking professional, so stop.
Jesus Christ.
Okay, so I thought that the best, most level-headed way to find out about what's going on with the Trump administration and the transgender policies that are being proposed would be Fox News. I figured that would be the most well-rounded, well-thought-out.
They're fair and balanced.
Exactly. Exactly. Mm-hmm. My favorite thing to do is put in Fox News in Florida because that combination is like a shitstorm. It's the title is The Trump Administration Mulls Rollback of Obama-Era Transgender Protection, the report says.
Yeah.
So basically, by labeling it as Obama error, it's instantly bad and it's something that needs to be rectified.
Well, to be fair, Obama was the Antichrist. At least that's
a Muslim
what I've
Antichrist
heard from friends and family. So.
Right, he wasn't even born.
Yeah, I mean,
well, let's be fair. All Antichrists are eventually going to be Muslim. I mean,
that's true.
It's just the cultural milieu we live in.
Are they Muslim though, or are they
they're
atheists?
British?
Well, they worship Satan, so they have to be atheist, right? Like basically.
I don't. That's someone get back to me on that.
I feel like Obama proved that you can be both in their minds, right? You can be an atheist Muslim.
Yeah.
How the hell does that even work in their minds, though?
You don't ask them for details because it's a shallow well. There's not much.
Ask a Christian to define Christianity just one time. Mm-hmm. What is Christianity? Just ask them that question and watch them flounder.
Right.
It's about a personal relationship with Christ.
Yeah, it's the literal definition is to believe in Christ.
Yeah, but it's not a religion. It's a relationship.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's very personal.
Yeah, we had that drilled into our heads because the world didn't think I was Christian, but I was Christian. So, Okay.
Yeah, but you were Mormon.
Well, Mormons they're not Christian. They're cultists. It's different.
So about Trump trying to define the trans people out of existence.
Yeah, he's rolling it back. So the HHS wants to define gender as determined on a biological basis that is clear and grounded in science, objective and administrable, according to the memo. So this is that leaked memo that got out that said that basically they want to be the supervillains in a movie.
Here's the thing, though. Those are really big words. And
Trump didn't write this.
I don't think Trump knows what they mean.
Solidly, Trump didn't write this.
Yeah.
I don't think he's read it. I think he got the Cliff Notes version tweeted to him on his phone so he could read it on the toilet.
I was going to say, it must have been like a Twitter version because that's all he can really handle at one time.
Not sure So yeah, basically it's just this, yay, it's in Fort Worth. Of course it is. Judge Reed O'Connor of the Federal District Court in Fort Worth, Texas ruled in 2016 that Congress does not understand sex to include gender identity. Oh, that's actually a good thing. When it passed the Affordable Care Act, also known as Obamacare. They have to throw that in. It's also known as Obamacare. Many civil rights groups have pointed to other court rulings to say that bias against transgender people represented discrimination under Title IX and other laws. So people are fighting back saying that it's discrimination because people have a right to exist. But this memo is saying that sex needs to be just male or female and what's identified on as your birth. So it's basically all the things they're quoting are actually legitimate, but then the little things stuck in there are Obama era protection. They spark backlash, blah, whatever. It's dumb. They're just.
But the thing is, you do have a right to exist as long as you choose to be white and male and cisgendered. I mean, what's so hard about that?
I mean, why don't they just think about that before they're...
That's what freedom's all about, is making the right choices.
Now, let's be fair. Women have a right to exist. That's how we make more men.
Well, if we're white. If you're white,
yes.
Yeah.
No, I really appreciate... I've never been told that I had the right to exist, so I really appreciate the permission.
It's because you don't exist, Amy.
Shut your dirty whore mouth.
You're a catfish.
I am. I literally am.
We all know it.
Okay, because no one's actually met me.
I just want to make one thing clear to all my trans listeners. I fucking love all of y'all. You're amazing. You're valid. And you're the...
And this is disgusting, horrible policy. And yeah, it's gross.
Yeah. As you...
Yes, and we need to speak out about it. Even those of us who aren't trans need to be speaking out about it, too.
We need to vote. Vote. Yeah. Everybody vote.
Vote. Yeah.
And vote against these shitheads that can vote on
Vote blue, vote these transphobes out of office.
Yes, exactly.
Wait, what?
Transphobes.
Okay. Oh, I thought he said trans
folks. Vote trans folks into office.
Wait, vote the trans. This is what happens when you get on Skype with me, just like the Ozark Poldark from last week. Yeah.
Oh, that was funny.
Carry on.
Is that what happened? I never listened to it. I don't listen to any.
That's what happened. Our Skype connection wasn't great, so I thought Amy was saying Poldark and she was saying Ozark. There's a great outtake at the end of our episode where it's just us going Ozark, Poldark,
Chewbacca,
Poldark, Ozark. Yeah, both great shows, by the way.
They are both great. Well, one has a really hot guy, and the other one doesn't.
True. They both have really hot guys, to be fair.
Agree to disagree.
Amy with a Y. What's your story?
Fine. Okay, do you want the slightly funny one or the more serious one? Okay, we'll start with the serious. I like that. So I got my story from Rewire News, which I highly recommend to everybody. It is one of the only websites that exclusively covers reproductive rights stories. So the title of this is, "There's now an online option for self-managed early abortion care in the United States." So it says self-managed abortion is not new, but is vilified by right-wing and religious groups opposed to abortion rights as akin to the dangerous back alley option. First of all, right-wing groups don't give a shit about back alley abortions and whether they're dangerous or not. So pretending like they care about this because it's dangerous to women is fucking ridiculous. But the thing that made me do a double take on this article is, how have we not had this up until now? Like, here's the beginning of the article. A new online service, Aid Access, which I did click on the link, it looks like a fantastic website, offers women an option to buy early abortion pills online and receive both medical consultation and physician-supported medical care at a critical time for reproductive health. Abortion care advocates say Aid Access's services, which are now available in the United States after being available for a decade in other countries, normalizes self-managed care and provides a safe, confidential, medically supported alternative to clinic-based care for early abortion. So basically, you can go to this website and you can order abortion pills, RU-486, through the mail, and you can have a consultation with a provider through the website and get access to a safe early medical abortion through the mail. How have we not been doing this already? Like, this should be available to everybody everywhere.
That's brilliant.
How are we not funding this?
Yeah.
Right? I mean, when I was reading this, it says the site has helped around 600 women access abortion pills in the U.S. in the few months since it was launched. But, like, that's it? Only 600? How many women are there in this country? A lot more than 600.
Like
that probably
628,
need access to abortion.
Maybe.
Right. So they should be helping
rounded
at
up
least
to
28 more
630.
women.
This was Ireland?
But yeah, that just seems like an extremely low number. That's in the U.S. Yeah. But apparently this service or this website is an offshoot of the Women on Waves clinic, which was in Ireland and in Europe. They would basically have this cruise ship that was docked in international waters, and you could get an abortion on that ship.
That is a brilliant idea.
It's a fantastic idea.
I love the idea.
Right.
And they've been doing that for decades, but yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Wait, beforehand, you can just go on leave, right? And just like fuck around because you're not going to get pregnant. And then you go get the abortion. Just me?
Well, yeah.
Okay.
The key here is that
I've had like 5 abortions.
It's liberals
so far.
trying to. Only 5, Larry? Come on.
Okay, fine.
Get real.
10.
No, I just don't understand how this is a new and novel. We should have been doing this for well over a decade now. The internet makes all things possible, and there is no reason that it can't make easy, safe access to abortion possible. So I applaud this. I just wish
there should be some kind of like
we had had it
Lyft
sooner.
or Uber abortion service.
Ooh, side hustle.
Side hustle.
Side hustle idea, Amy.
I know.
I wonder though, are there states that have laws against mailing?
I'm sure. I'm sure there are.
I was gonna say, I'm just wondering how many different hurdles they have to
Texas for sure
jump
does.
through state by state.
Texas,
Right. No, like they'd
we
have
all
to mail
tried
you
to
a little
mail all kinds
coffin
of
to go
things.
with the abortion, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It didn't address it in this article as to, the different state laws, but I guarantee that it's being made as huge of a pain in the ass as it
Right.
possibly can be for as many people.
Speaking
as
of huge
humanly
pains in the
possible.
ass, speaking
Yeah, I mean, you're
another day, another asshole calling the cops on black people for no damn reason. Robert Ortiz and some of his
Nice segue.
Right?
Robert Ortiz and some of his friends left a gay club and needed a ride home, so they used their Lyft app to get a driver. This poor, unfortunate soul who was picked to deal with their nonsense was Sean Letman. Letman, who should be nominated for sainthood, had to endure a 16-minute tirade from Ortiz and his friends. Ortiz claimed, among other things, that I doubt this is his actual accent, but fuck it, knows his rights as an American citizen who voted for Trump.
I think it's spot on.
Calls Letman a word I'm not saying on this podcast multiple times, and finally calls the cops on him. What could have prompted such a dramatic response? Letman didn't turn on the radio. Ortiz was banned permanently and let go from his job. Letman, suspecting future legal fuckery from Ortiz, has set up a GoFundMe which you can find in the show notes. And I highly encourage y'all to give to him because just fuck Ortiz and just, ugh.
You gotta love America.
do you?
I don't have to. I don't gotta do anything.
I am legally required to say yes.
Yeah, all right. Fair.
I'm no nationalist.
I'm
I'll
not
tell you
either.
that.
I'm patriotic in pieces, and only when I feel like it.
The only kind of nationalism I like is white nationalism.
No, for
I
sure.
pretty much just hate
Yeah.
everyone except for some very specific people.
Yeah, and
That's a good policy.
And I know I don't make the list because you should see the shit he messages to me. Poor Larry.
I've heard.
I know. I send you screenshots.
Wait, no, that was Amy's screenshot. No, that was Amy's screenshot.
I know.
We just love fucking with you, Larry. It's so much fun.
Right, Noah, has Amy sent you the thing about her wine bottle?
Oh, God. It's not my wine bottle. It's a random picture that I will post in the Facebook chat while we're doing this so that Noah can get a laugh too, but
What? I don't even know this. Oh, because I've been blocked.
listeners won't appreciate it.
So here's the thing.
Oh, yeah, I blocked
She
you.
blocked me, my phone number. I've been trying to like call her and plan things for like a month for our podcast. We have a show together, dude.
I just thought she was unusually quiet.
She blocked me, and then I tried to call her. I sent her a Facebook message like, I can't get through. And she was like, oh, yeah, sorry, I blocked you. Oops.
What I said was I got a new phone and maybe something weird happened with the phone. And then I checked because I was going to delete
then you
her
blamed
number,
one of your
re-enter it. And then
kids or
I
something.
noticed it said blocked and I was like, oh shit. That's why she hasn't been getting my text message.
Yeah, but I shared it on Facebook, and then my mom and my sister were like, that's a great idea. Because I come from a
I
family.
know.
with a
Have
bunch
they
of-
done it yet?
No, I don't know. I haven't called them. Because I
Y'all might want to check your Facebook chat.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm trying to find that picture right now. So, you found it already, didn't you? I didn't. Yeah, that is not my picture. I did not originate that picture. That is not my penis in the photo. One of my
All right,
friends
I'm
texted
glad you
that
said
to me.
that much before I jumped on.
I said I was sorry for sending it to you, Amy.
Oh my God. That was a couple of years ago. A friend of mine texted that to me and just wrote, have you seen this kind of wine before? And it's funny because you look at it and you look at the wine and you don't notice there's a huge dick next
That's
to
not
it.
what I
Like,
looked at
I
first.
feel
And
like
your
I
friend laughs
noticed there's
at
a
you.
huge
That's
dick
absolutely
right
not
away.
what I looked at
I
first.
didn't.
But to be fair, I was on Tinder for a while. So that's where I went. So
No, it took me a while to notice it, and then I had to immediately text all of my friends and do the same thing and be like, have you seen this kind of wine? And usually when I was sitting right next to them so I could watch their reaction, it was pretty funny.
ooh, I should send it. Okay, I'm going to send it.
Because, yeah, if you tell the person right away before you send it to focus on the wine, like your brain does this thing where you're looking at the wine, and then after a second you're like,
That
oh,
is the
shit.
exact thing that I
Huge
did.
penis in that picture.
That's it.
See, that's why it's funny, Larry.
Anyway. Noah,
I got
what
all
you
the
got
jokes.
up for us next?
I mean, it's no penis next to a wine bottle. I'll tell you that much.
Nothing starts there, but you can always get there.
Well, I'm sure that's where this guy was hoping it was going to go. Actually, there is, because I feel at least a little sexually assaulted right now. So that gives me a good transition to this. So this was aboard a Southwest flight. I believe this happened yesterday. A Southwest flight from Houston to Albuquerque. Guy's sitting behind a woman. He finds her attractive, and he remembers that the president says it's okay to grab him wherever you want to grab him. So he takes the president's advice.
Oh.
Yeah, so this woman is asleep on a plane, wakes up, and there's some filthy-ass hand reaching around from behind, grabbing her boob.
Well, I mean, to be fair, Amy loves it when that happens to her on flights.
Don't say that.
There's so many great out-of-context quotes for me in this show already that will make me sound like a monster.
She complains, as, you would hope one would, and they move her to another spot on the plane. Afterwards, the FBI picks the guy up. Right? By the time they land, they've already got an FBI agent waiting to pick him up. He claims that he was asleep the whole time and he remembers something about a lady talking to him and then moving, but he didn't do anything. And they're like, well, how would she know how much dirt you had under your pudgy ass fingernails if she was lying? And he's like, right. So then he defended himself by citing Trump's infamous grab him by the pussy line.
Yeah, I was going to say didn't she identify him by his big hairy hands? Wasn't that?
Yeah, and his dirty fingernails, apparently. But yeah, and apparently, but here's the thing. This creepy, disgusting fuck is still better than goddamn President Trump, because at least when he said it, apparently, he told the FBI agents, no, the president says it's okay to grab women by their private parts. So at least he wasn't going to go as far as Trump actually went when he said it. So yeah, our president is worse than a creepy guy with filthy hands that gropes women on airplanes while they're asleep.
Silver linings.
That's my story.
I mean, yeah, I think we all knew that.
I mean,
he's a
it's not new news. It's not new news. Well said.
Who would have thought that some weird recording perpetuating sexual assault would be bad or could possibly go wrong?
Yeah, I thought it was just funny. Isn't that just locker room talk?
It's one of those quaint moments. You're just like, ha ha, that's hilarious.
It's funny because it's true. We can all identify with it. And we hear the president say it and we're like, he's just a normal guy, just like me.
And the world is his locker room. Yeah.
Exactly.
So,
too bad he's not single. Am I right? No.
So, Amy with an eye, what you got for us next?
Racism in Florida.
Woo!
Yay!
I know.
Again, not new news.
I know. It's like, is water wet? So there is a Democratic candidate, Gillum, who is running for governor of Florida. So he's black and he's Democrat, and so a lot of the Trump base in Florida is not liking him. So there's this robocall dialer that's going out that's referring to him as a Negro and a monkey and using like a minstrel dialect to portray him in the robocalls.
Oh my God, I just read part of the story.
And yeah, it's disgusting. And for some reason, it's pissing people off.
I don't know why. I don't know.
Right? Florida voters who received the call, the audio of which was obtained by NBC, we hear a man impersonating the African-American politician. And he calls himself, he said, well, hello there. It is I, Andrew Gillum, a Negro, Andrew Gillum, and I'll be asking you to make me governor of the state of Florida, the voice says.
Yeah, no, I'm not doing this voice. Nope. Fuck that. Nope. Fuck.
Wow.
I don't do voices, and I just don't do it. Like I do bad
it's tempting
Texan accent, that's it. So yeah, my state appointment, who done call me monkey, is doing a lot of hollering about how expensive my plans for healthcare be.
God.
The voice says, a chimpanzee noise is played during the word monkey.
Jesus.
I kind of missed the days when someone had just called him a monkey.
Yeah, this is way worse.
So yeah, that's the call that has been going out in Florida, and
oh my God.
Yeah, it's pissing people off, understandably so. It's
well, and look, this is not, I'm sure it's not officially affiliated with his opponent, but what's his name? Is it Kemp is the guy that's running, or wait, DeSantis? I'm mixing up Georgia.
I think his name
Florida
is some white dude.
Yeah, some white dude.
His name is the douchebag prick who was probably a frat boy. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the frat boy douchebag prick has been like baiting this throughout the entire election. He says he calls on the Florida voters not to monkey up the election. Wink, wink. He's constantly during they did the first televised debate. Gillum came out afterwards and he's like, boy, if he missed an opportunity to point out what color my skin was, I don't know where he missed it. He's basically been, hitting these racially charged tropes since the beginning. See, the terrifying thing about the 2018 election to me more than anything else is that at least in 2016, most of the GOP backed away when Trump went full racist, right? But now they've been shown that it can work, and so they're on board. You got DeSantis here in fucking Georgia promising to round up all the Mexicans in his pickup truck. You got that, there's an ad, it's out in Texas, with a white woman with the black man's hand over her mouth as an attack ad against a black candidate they say is soft on crime. You've got Duncan Hunter up in New York. He plays in ads where he calls his Arab American opponent a security risk.
Yep.
Yeah, and it's not just the racism. There's in North Dakota, right next door to me, Heidi Heitkamp is running to try to keep her seat, and there has been an ad playing nonstop, an anti-Heitkamp ad. At the beginning of the ad, without any context or reason, there's just a little clip, not even a clip, there's a picture of her in a softball uniform. There's no reason for that other than a wink and a nod to people that, hey, I think she plays for the other team. Look at her in a softball uniform. And then they play a clip of her saying, we will support Hillary Clinton. But the whole ad is basically, you get that one visual at the beginning, and the only reason it is there, because there's no other reason to have that picture of her in this ad, is just, look at this, she plays softball.
So
we
the
all know
ad
what that
says
means.
she might be a lesbian and
It's
might have voted
disgusting.
for Hillary. And this is an attack ad? Because this sounds like a pro to me.
No, it's an attack. Yeah. It's what kills me is they never say anything about that picture. There's nothing. They
don't have to.
It just flashes at the beginning because they know what kind of dog whistle that is, and it's disgusting because it works. It's
Yeah, and that's the terrifying thing is that it works. That you have to walk around every day looking around at the people that you share this country with, going, you bastards. It works with you.
And wondering which of the people, especially in a rural area like this, you walk around and think at least 50% of you are fucking monsters, and which ones are they? Because I don't know when I'm at the grocery store. It's just.
Well, there was one day my ex-husband was at the grocery store just getting groceries, and some old dude, because we live in a small town, and some old dude came over and just started telling him racist jokes.
What?
Because he's like, this white dude. Yeah, he called me from the car. He was like, I don't know what made him think that I was like okay with this. Like he was like, you need to stop and you need to like, go away. But yeah, he just came over and he was like, so hey, like just, nudge. It's like, no, I'm buying bananas. Like this is not appropriate.
Yeah, that's common. I had a lady come up to me at work and tell me that because we sell things, we do auctions, and she wanted to sell her car, and she told me, she's like, well, I had someone that was going to buy it, but he was a Mexican, and he, we told him that he needed to go to the DMV to get it titled, and then we never saw him again. I'm just giving her this blank stare, like, why? What? And she could kind of tell that her racism wasn't clicking with me because she stopped at that
Didn't
point.
find it smart.
But she didn't see any problem with just going up to a total stranger and saying, well, he was a Mexican. So, like, what the fuck are you talking about?
So, Amy, as long as you're telling stories, what's your next one?
Yeah. I have a really good one. Although, very, very quickly, a much better story about work. A guy came in the other day and he had an Amy Klobuchar bumper sticker on his car. She's our state senator. And I looked at him like, is that your car? And he goes, yeah. And I said, can I just give you a high five for that bumper sticker? And we high-fived, and he's like, vote blue all the way down. But we had to kind of whisper it because we're in a business and there's other people around. But it was this nice little moment of solidarity in a small town. Oh, none of them are Mexican because this is rural Minnesota.
Sorry.
But no, a lot of white people. But yeah, it was very cool because he was like an older white guy, and you just don't. Most of the older white guys that come to work are Trump voters.
Bloody hell.
So he was a cool dude. Anyway, that has nothing
Awesome
to do
dude,
with anything, much like our entire show. So, yeah, he was very cool. And then he liked our business more because I said, yeah, we all vote blue around here. And he's like, good business. So hopefully I will translate that into monetary gain. So my next story comes from Vice News, and the title is Megyn Kelly Wonders What's So Bad About Blackface.
She would do that, wouldn't she?
Yeah, there's a
Oh,
delightful...
she did do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the whole conversation. Is there a tasteful way to do it? No. The answer is always no.
That's pretty much the entire conversation she had. And at the beginning, it says, Megyn Kelly wants to know what's so wrong with a little tasteful blackface.
Well,
Beginning of the article. In a segment titled Halloween Costume Crackdown that aired Tuesday on NBC News, so this isn't even on Fox News, this is on NBC, Megyn Kelly, who once got extremely offended by the idea that Santa Claus wasn't white, put on her best Jerry Seinfeld impression to ask, what's the deal with everyone getting so offended by blackface? What is racist, Kelly asked. When I was a kid, that was okay, as long as you were dressing up as like a character. And bless their hearts, Kelly's panel of all-white co-hosts made up of Jenna Bush Hager, so W's daughter, NBC correspondent Jacob Soboroff, I don't know, and Melissa Rivers tried to explain to Kelly that there are probably better hills to die on than the one where you defend blackface. If you think it's offensive, it probably is, Melissa Rivers said. Whatever happened to manners and polite society? On Halloween, Kelly responded, you have guys running around with fake axes coming out of their heads. Like, it's going to be jarring.
it's like...
But Kelly wasn't finished, going on to defend Countess Luann something, a cast member of Real Housewives of New York, who was accused of racism after darkening her skin for a Diana Ross Halloween costume. She dressed as Diana Ross as she made her skin look darker than it really is. And people said that it was racist. And I don't know, I felt like, who doesn't love Diana Ross? She wants to look like Diana Ross for one day. I don't know how, like, that got racist on Halloween. And her co-host said, I have not seen that, but it sounds a little racist to me.
Yeah, it is. It's fucking racist.
It's a delightful clip to watch because you can see the other host being like, I think you might be wrong on this one. And her just really digging in on it.
And realizing very slowly that she's not on Fox News anymore, right?
Yeah. Yep. She's just like, why isn't everybody jumping in to agree with me here?
Yeah.
I don't understand why. And of all people, Melissa Rivers seemed to make the best point on it. Like,
I actually love Melissa Rivers.
Yeah, she's pretty great.
Yeah.
I was not a huge Joan Rivers fan, but
I like him.
Yeah, I could take her or leave her. But yeah, you should watch this clip. It's pretty good.
Well, she's much lighter now.
Schools her. Yeah. Anyway. So yeah, blackface for the win.
My
Yay.
next, I can't. I don't even. Wow.
Is it about blackface, Larry?
There's a penis involved. There's a penis.
Oh, God damn it.
Yes.
So for my next story, I need to actually send the link in the Facebook chat.
Oh, yay. We had so many dicks there today. I'm very excited.
Okay. I can't. The story has me stunned. I can't even. In One-Eyed Snake news, a Canadian man stripped naked and jumped into a shark tank where he proceeded to swim around and just hang out for a bit.
This is definitely something my 8-year-old would do. I'm just going to put that out there.
The sharks, being Canadian, were extremely polite to the man and did not bite off the man's penis. Peter Doyle, a manager for the aquarium, which suddenly had a white snake added to its collection.
I love that his name is Peter. Appropriate.
His middle name is Richard. It's really weird.
Said, this was incredibly dangerous. He jumped into an exhibit with live animals. Whether it's a dog or a shark, you don't know how an animal will behave when spooked.
I love your Canadian accent, Larry.
Neither the man nor the sharks were injured, and Toronto police are currently searching for the sharkanoia.
I love that you pointed out that the sharks weren't hurt in the exchange. I felt like they were going to do okay in this one.
Well, they're more important than some random asshole.
Especially if you're the kind of random asshole that jumps into a shark tank.
But he was a white guy with a penis, so that's like, he wins.
All lives matter. Yeah.
Yeah, let me guess. He didn't get arrested or shot for it. He was white.
It's just
it's also Canada.
Fun.
Well, it's also... Like, for some reason, I keep assuming Canada is just better than here.
They were just...
Yeah, you go to the aquarium, you get dick. It's awesome.
Well, that's better than saying I went to the aquarium and all I got was dick. It's how you say it, I guess.
This has been Man Yells at News. Noah, where can people find you?
Well, at the aforementioned podcast, Scathing Atheist, The Skeptocrat, and God Awful Movies, and the one that you forgot, Citation Needed, that we do with Tom and Cecil, the Cognitive Dissonance podcast. So it's okay that you forgot one of them.
We don't talk about them.
We don't talk about them. They don't exist.
I'm fucking Patreoning that one too. How the hell?
Quit giving your money to Tom and Cecil, Larry.
Yeah, those bastards.
Yeah,
We
they
deserve
don't
that
need
money.
The money. So don't donate it to Citation Needed, but just put a note on it that says Eli, Heath, and Noah only.
Right.
Okay,
Or
that's
even just
appropriate.
Noah only would be fine.
That's appropriate. I'm okay with that. As long as you specify no Tom and Cecil, they don't get this money.
And
don't need money.
tell them
They're
we sent you.
fat.
They'll know what it means.
Awesome.
they love
And-
us.
And Amy, where can people find y'all?
They can find
Lightful
us
Bitchcraft.
on the interwebs, yes, at delightfulbitchcraft.com, where you can find out all the things about us. Or if you know how to work a podcast machine, look for Secular Soup on your podcast machine, and you will find us in our Delightful Bitchcraft.
Yep.
Excelsior.
We're on all the things, all the platforms, and we are
All
on
the
Patreon,
places.
so give us your money, bitches.
Give us your money, not Tom and Cecil. We need it more. We have diamond-laced pockets to buy.
Apparently.
And lipsticks. Lots of nail
We need
polish.
to buy food to make food for men and more shoes to have babies or something.
We're
I
just
don't know.
trying to keep the men in our lives happy.
Something
so-
about barefoot and pregnant. I just assume there's shoes involved.
Yeah. All that jazz.
Yeah.
Yes, give Amy, and Noah specifically your money.
Right.
This podcast.
But if
is
someone
proud
gives
be-
it to us, we're not sharing with him. So sorry.
Yes. Yeah.
This podcast is proud to be produced by Marissa Alexa McCool. You can find me on Spreaker, Patreon, iTunes, and Stitcher. Y'all have a good day now.
And we hope you enjoyed that very awesome episode with Noah Lugeons and Larry Yelling Man. We sure enjoyed recording it. So we want to thank all of our patrons, as we do every week. If you would like to become a patron of the show and line our pockets with even more diamonds, you can do so at patreon.com/secularsoup. Just don't give Tom and Cecil any of your money because they don't need it. But you can give some to Noah, but give most of it to us and maybe a little to Larry. That's the formula. So at the $1 a month level, the tomato soup level, we have By Any Means Podcast, Wendy, EncyclopediaDumbAmerica.com, Jesse, Ryan, the Dumb All Over Podcast, Liz Satan, John, and Freethinker215. Thank you all so much for your patronage. At the $2 a month chicken noodle level, we have Sarah, the double Sarahs, Verlaine, Andy, Rebecca, Kimberly, and Nathan Dickey. You guys are fantastic. At the $3 a month bread bowl level, we have Unholier Than Thou, also known as the Wayward Willis Podcast. Thank you, even though your podcast sucks and ours is better, but still, thanks for that money. We appreciate it.
There was one episode that was really good. I can't remember which one it was.
I doubt it. I think you probably were listening to something else and got confused.
No, it was the one we were on.
Oh, yeah, that one was pretty good. I'll give you that.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Thank you.
At the $4 a month, I believe that's, I want to say the she crab soup level. I don't even remember. $4 a month, we have Elvin Engineer and Dr. Dylan Medical Detective. Thank you so much. And at the $5 a month level, I think that's Lobster Bisque at this point. Again, not sure. I'd have to go check. But if you go to patreon.com/secularsoup, you'll see what all of the delightfully labeled patron levels are. So $5 a month, Marissa Alexa McCool, Amy's boring sister, Yesh, Jerry, and Alan. You guys are awesome. At the $10 a month level, the level where you get your own personalized soup bowl, possibly with some dicks drawn on it or not if you don't want them. Either way is fine. I live to cater to you. So $10 a month, we've got Larry Yelling Man that you just heard on our wonderful crossover episode of Man Yells at News. We've got Randall, Dwayne, Alice at the Ask and Tell Project, and Rich, our 22nd favorite Rich.
Oh, that's so nice. It was 67th last week. so
Yeah,
I
he's bumped up in the ratings. That's pretty good. Good job, Rich. And then at the $20 a month, our favorite patron, Ashley, we love you. You're the bomb. So those are our patrons. Please join us. Patreon.com/secularsoup. We need all the help we can get. We love our patrons. And with that, Amy, take us out.
And that's all we've got for now. Thanks to our fabulous listeners who put up with us droning on week after week. If you enjoy our delightful bitchcraft, please like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, and send us all your monies on Patreon. You can find us on those platforms by using the Google machine. It's not hard. This week, your donations will go to Dark Foundation for Tasteful Blackface. If you want to tell, I know, oh God,
just love that.
I can't even say that with a straight face. So bad.
It's adorable.
If you want to tell the world how awful this episode was, well, Megan Kelly gave me some pointers. So
Megan Kelly is a hero of mine, and everything she says is
she's
solid
a
gold.
personal hero.
Yeah.
We're like basically besties. If you want to tell the world how awful this episode was, which they're going to now.
Well, yeah. Now we're getting fucking
Join our...
blacklisted. Good job, Amy. Ruining everything with your
Sounds
racist
hot.
jokes.
I have a black friend. It's okay.
All right, good.
Can't even. Okay. Jeez, goddamn.
Keep digging that
If you
hole.
want to tell the world how awful this episode was, join our secret Soup Talk Facebook group. If you want to tell us to fuck off personally, you can send an email to secularsouppodcast@gmail.com. Please don't. Please rate and review us on iTunes, Facebook, and wherever else you can review things like this. It will help us spread the soup gospel far and wide. And hey, tell your friends. As always, we'll leave you with the vocal stylings of Mr. Eli Bosnick.
Secular soup creed. Soup is the ultimate virtue. It's delicious, nutritious, patriarchy smashing, racism fighting, warm and fuzzy, human affirming, fun having, anti-theist, glitter throwing, tummy satisfying, pair of new shoes fulfilling, diversity seeking, happiness. Minestrone, beef and barley, chicken broth and split pea, gazpacho, tomato, clam chowder and potato, chicken noodle, beef noodle, egg drop and ramen cup, miso, gumbo, leek and pho. Grab a bowl and taste the magic. Slurp even this.